The global technology industry is facing a memory crisis. RAM prices have climbed sharply. Storage prices are under pressure. AI data centers are consuming enormous quantities of advanced memory. And Lenovo is now warning that the unusually cheap memory market of early 2025 may not return for a very long time. At the International Supercomputing Conference, the company reportedly described the situation as the new normal. One Lenovo executive even said that memory pricing may never be like it was last year. The word never was delivered with a smirk, so it should not be interpreted as a literal prediction that prices can never fall. But the larger warning was serious. Artificial intelligence has changed the economics of the memory industry. Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron are directing more production toward high-margin memory for AI servers. New factories will take years to complete, and even when additional capacity arrives, AI demand may absorb much of it. But just as the traditional memory giants are warning that shortages could last for years, China is creating a new challenger. Changshin Memory Technologies, better known as CXMT, is rapidly expanding its production capacity, moving into server memory, signing major customers, and approaching the manufacturing scale of Micron. Some analysts believe CXMT could become one of the largest DRAM producers in the world by wafer capacity. The question is whether China's RAM giant can finally break the global memory shortage, or whether its chips will be absorbed so quickly by China's own AI industry that prices everywhere else remain painfully high. Why RAM prices are surging? To understand the crisis, we first need to understand what has changed. For decades, memory was one of the most cyclical parts of the semiconductor industry. When demand was strong, Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron expanded production. Eventually, too much memory reached the market. Prices collapsed, manufacturers reduced investment, supply tightened again, then the cycle restarted. This created periods when computer builders could purchase large amounts of RAM for surprisingly low prices. Early 2025 was one of those periods. But the current cycle is different because artificial intelligence is consuming memory at a scale the industry did not previously expect. An ordinary consumer computer may contain 16 or 32 gigabytes of RAM. A powerful AI server can require several terabytes of conventional DRAM, along with large quantities of high-bandwidth memory attached directly to AI accelerators. Modern AI systems must constantly move enormous amounts of model data between processors and memory. Without enough memory bandwidth, even the fastest GPU spends time waiting for information. That has made memory one of the most valuable components inside an AI data center. The HBM problem. High bandwidth memory, or HBM, is a specialized form of DRAM. Instead of placing memory chips separately across a circuit board, manufacturers stack multiple layers of memory vertically and connect them using extremely dense electrical pathways. The result is much faster communication between the memory and an AI accelerator. HBM is essential for advanced processors from NVIDIA, AMD, and other AI chip designers. It is also far more profitable than ordinary consumer memory. That creates an obvious incentive. If a manufacturer can use factory space to produce expensive HBM for AI companies, why devote the same resources to lower-margin DDR4 or standard DDR5 for consumer computers? Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron have therefore shifted investment and cleanroom capacity toward AI-related products. But this is not a simple conversion. HBM requires extra manufacturing steps, advanced packaging, and multiple memory dies. Producing a usable quantity of HBM can consume considerably more wafer capacity than producing a comparable amount of conventional memory. That means the AI boom does not only increase demand, it also changes which products memory companies choose to manufacture. Every wafer directed toward premium AI memory is capacity that cannot simultaneously produce ordinary RAM for laptops, gaming computers, smartphones, and lower-cost servers. The new normal IDC has described the current shortage as more than a temporary mismatch between supply and demand. It may represent a strategic reallocation of global semiconductor capacity. The largest memory manufacturers are increasingly prioritizing hyperscalers, AI server companies, and enterprise customers willing to pay higher prices. Consumer electronics manufacturers are forced to compete for what remains. This can affect far more than individual RAM kits. Memory represents a significant portion of the cost of a smartphone. It is also essential for laptops, desktop computers, game consoles, networking equipment, vehicles, and industrial systems. When memory prices rise, manufacturers have several options. They can increase the final price. They can reduce the amount of memory inside the product. They can delay upgrades. or they can accept lower profit margins. None of those options is good for consumers. IDC has warned that memory constraints could contribute to weaker PC and smartphone sales during 2026, especially in lower-cost product segments where manufacturers operate on thin margins. Why supply cannot respond quickly? Normally, high prices encourage companies to build more factories. That process is now happening. SK Hynix has announced an enormous investment program covering new memory production and advanced packaging facilities. Samsung and Micron are also expanding. But semiconductor factories cannot be built overnight. A modern memory fab requires land, clean rooms, power infrastructure, specialized gases, water systems, lithography machines, deposition tools, inspection equipment, and thousands of trained workers. Construction can take several years. After that, the production line must be installed, calibrated, tested, and gradually increased toward full output. SK Hynix's latest major NAND facility is not expected to begin production until close to the end of the decade. Some advanced packaging capacity could arrive earlier, but the broader point remains the same. The factories needed to solve today's shortage will not deliver their full output tomorrow. And by the time they are ready, AI demand may be much larger. Enter CXMT. This is where CXMT becomes important. CXMT was founded in 2016 with government support and has become China's leading producer of DRAM. For years, the company was considered far behind Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron. Its manufacturing technology was less advanced, its product range was narrower, its yields were weaker, and much of its business focused on supplying China's domestic market. But CXMT has expanded rapidly. It now produces memory for computers, smartphones, servers, and other electronic systems. Its publicly disclosed customers reportedly include Tencent, Alibaba Cloud, ByteDance, Lenovo, and Xiaomi. That customer list matters because it shows that CXMT is no longer supplying only low-end or experimental applications. China's largest cloud and technology companies are beginning to treat domestic memory as a strategic component of their infrastructure. The Tencent Agreement. The clearest evidence is a reported long-term agreement between CXMT and Tencent. According to people familiar with the arrangement, the contract is worth more than 20 billion yuan, or approximately $2.94 billion. It reportedly covers several years of server DRAM supply. Different sources describe the period as between 3 and 5 years. Neither CXMT nor Tencent publicly confirmed the details when the report appeared, so the agreement should not be described as an official joint announcement. Still, if accurate, the scale is significant. Tencent operates one of China's largest cloud computing and internet infrastructures. It needs memory for databases, gaming services, social platforms, cloud servers, and artificial intelligence workloads. A multi-billion-dollar commitment would provide CXMT with predictable demand and give Tencent greater protection from the global shortage. It would also provide CXMT with something equally valuable: experience. Supplying a large cloud company forces a memory manufacturer to improve reliability, quality control, product consistency, and customer support. Enterprise customers cannot tolerate large failure rates. Their servers may run continuously for years. A major agreement therefore becomes more than a sale. It becomes a large-scale test of whether CXMT can compete in serious data center environments. Approaching Micron's scale, CXMT's most important advantage may be capacity. Semi-Analysis estimates that the company could reach approximately 350,000 wafer starts per month by the end of 2026. Micron is estimated at around 385,000. That does not mean CXMT has already caught Micron as a complete company. Wafer capacity is only one measurement. Micron still has advantages in manufacturing technology, product performance, high bandwidth memory, yields, global customer relationships, and revenue. A more advanced process can produce more memory bits from each wafer. A company with fewer wafers may therefore still ship more useful memory. But reaching close to Micron's physical wafer scale would still be a remarkable change. The global DRAM industry has historically been dominated by 3 companies. Samsung is the largest. SK Hynix is the second major leader, particularly in HBM. Micron is the primary American supplier. CXMT is now attempting to turn that 3-company structure into a 4-company market. Can CXMT break the oligopoly? Memory manufacturing requires enormous capital. This high barrier to entry helps Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron maintain control over most global DRAM production. When only 3 suppliers dominate an essential product, the decisions made by those companies can affect the entire electronics industry. If all three prioritize HBM, conventional DRAM becomes tighter. If all three slow investment, prices rise. If all three expand aggressively, oversupply eventually returns. CXMT introduces another decision maker. A fourth large producer could increase competition and add capacity during periods when the established manufacturers remain disciplined. That is why investors and industry analysts watch Chinese memory expansion so carefully. China previously disrupted other industries by adding enormous manufacturing capacity. Solar panels, batteries, steel, and several electronics categories experienced major price declines after Chinese production scaled. Some observers believe memory could eventually follow the same pattern. If CXMT produces far more DDR5 and server DRAM than China needs, additional chips could enter export markets and place pressure on global prices. But that outcome is not guaranteed. Why CXMT may not save global buyers? China's own demand is enormous. Tencent, Alibaba, ByteDance, Baidu, Huawei, and other companies are constructing AI infrastructure. Chinese computer manufacturers need domestic memory. Smartphone makers want secure supplies. Government and state-backed projects are being encouraged to use Chinese components whenever possible. This means CXMT may expand quickly without creating a large surplus for the rest of the world. Its new capacity could be absorbed almost entirely inside China. Export restrictions create another complication. CXMT faces limits on access to some advanced American semiconductor equipment. That can make it harder to move toward the most advanced manufacturing processes. The company may be able to install more production lines while still trailing competitors in memory density, efficiency, and yield. More wafers do not automatically mean cheaper memory if each wafer produces fewer usable chips. CXMT also remains relatively weak in HBM. Semi-analysis estimates that only a small portion of its current capacity is allocated to high-bandwidth memory, although this is expected to increase. That means CXMT may provide meaningful relief for conventional DRAM before it becomes a major competitor in the most advanced AI memory category. And conventional DRAM is exactly where consumers need relief. The two possible futures. There are now two very different futures for the memory market. In the first scenario, AI demand remains extremely strong. Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron continue prioritizing HBM and enterprise memory. CXMT expands, but its output is absorbed by China's own cloud companies and electronics manufacturers. New factories arrive slowly. Consumer RAM remains expensive. Prices fluctuate, but the ultra-cheap memory environment of early 2025 does not return. In the second scenario, CXMT expands faster than expected. Its yields improve. Its DDR5 products become more competitive. China's domestic demand is satisfied. CXMT begins exporting larger quantities or indirectly frees other suppliers to serve global customers. The established manufacturers respond by increasing production or reducing prices. Competition returns. RAM becomes more affordable. The difference between those outcomes may depend on whether AI infrastructure continues growing at the current pace. It will also depend on how much production CXMT can add without access to the newest foreign equipment. What prices may never recover really means. The title of this story needs context. Memory prices will not rise forever in a straight line. The semiconductor industry remains cyclical. Demand can weaken. Factories can overbuild. New technologies can increase the number of bits produced from each wafer. Prices will rise and fall. The warning from Lenovo is not that RAM can literally never become cheaper. It is that the old reference point may no longer be realistic. The extremely low prices seen during periods of heavy oversupply may become less common because AI companies are creating a new source of structural demand. Even when consumer demand falls, data center customers may continue purchasing enormous quantities of memory. That creates a stronger floor under the market. My take is that CXMT can weaken the global memory shortage, but it may not end RAMageddon quickly. The company's expansion is real. Its reported Tencent agreement is significant. Its estimated wafer capacity is approaching the physical scale of Micron, and its customer base now includes some of China's largest technology companies. But the same forces making CXMT powerful are also consuming its output. China wants domestic RAM because foreign supplies are expensive, politically uncertain, and strategically important. Every new CXMT wafer may already have a Chinese customer waiting for it. That means global consumers should not assume that Chinese expansion will immediately produce cheap RAM on Western store shelves. The larger impact may appear gradually. CXMT can reduce China's purchases from Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron. Those suppliers may then have more capacity available for other customers. CXMT can also place competitive pressure on the established memory giants, forcing them to improve products, expand output, or reconsider pricing. The important change is that the global DRAM market may no longer be controlled entirely by the same three companies. A fourth major supplier is emerging. And during the worst memory shortage in years, that supplier may become one of the most strategically important semiconductor companies in China. So what do you think? Can CXMT expand fast enough to bring RAM prices back down? Or will AI data centers consume every new memory chip the industry can produce? Let me know your view in the comments. And subscribe to Eastern Engine for more grounded coverage of the chips, factories, and engineering decisions reshaping the global economy. Because RAMageddon may be the new normal, but China is building the one company that could eventually break it.